Just Andrew's toughness to pitch through what he was dealing with and execute while dealing with that. Just what does it say about him?
Tough dude that waited a long time. You wait your whole baseball life for this moment. So when we see an 83 flash on the board and it goes from 91 to 83, and I see him like the little wince, the guy was worried. And I knew what it was because I'd seen him do the exact same thing before when he had that little thing flare up. So you have to go out there, and again, of all the things you think might happen in this, even though I'd seen it, you just don't think it's actually going to flare up on the guy, and it did. And I said, look, you have to tell me. You've earned the right to, you have to tell me. Like, now I see what that said, and it went from 91 to 83, so I'm out here because of that, and you're wins. So if you think you can figure this out and settle in, then you can do it. But if you can't, we have a responsibility to everybody else involved in this to get somebody else in the game. And he said, Coach, I'll be fine. It just seemed like I sat and it flared up more than hurting me when I pitch. So tough kid, athletic kid, wanted to be out there. And it's hard because that's a fine line of I've waited my whole life to pitch in this, and I'm not healthy enough to help the team win. So you're walking a fine line, and clearly he was able to manage it, and maybe it kept him from trying to do too much and using his changeup, and maybe it was a blessing in disguise. But tough kid, and he earned the chance to be out there and deliver.
It looked like he might have told you, I'm fine once, then you kind of went back to him again. Where you?
Well, when you tell me you're fine, and I'm looking at the scoreboard that says 83, and your changeup's usually 81, and you're so you can tell me that, but I also haven't. I can tell what's going on, and anyway, settled in, and we contact ball down in the zone and rolling some ground balls, and we gobbled it up, and proud of him, happy for him.
On television, every time he threw it, you could hear a loud grunt. And could you hear that from the diamond?
I could hear it. Now, when he threw the warm-up pitches, I could hear it, but it's the game in these dugouts. Like it's out there happening, and you're in there, and it's hard to hear and feel maybe what's going on like some of the other stadiums where it's tighter.
Yeah, but along the idea of this toughness, that you have a kid out there who is having to grunt every time he throws the ball to get you through that. What's that mean to a coach?
Well, if the grunt got him through it, then he can grunt every time he pitches from now on. I don't know if he normally grunts, to be honest with you.
He said it was pain. Most of it was pain.
Okay, well then he's way tougher than I even gave him credit for when you asked me the first time. So, no, I'm happy for him, man. You wait and wait and wait, and we didn't know who to start. Like everybody that pitched today, and there's more that didn't even warm up in the bullpen. We were trying to think through what's the best order of operations to get through this, knowing if you get 4 or 5 innings out of anybody, that's probably a really good thing. And we settled on him, and man, he just executed really well.
We asked Tibbs about Jackson, and he just said he's just such a hard worker, and that's how he can have a day like this. I mean, how do you identify that?
He fits this offense really well because you need to get it back, and our leadoff hitter is not your prototypical leadoff hitter. He's a dangerous, weaponized left-handed bat. So sometimes when you're in the middle of it, if you just showed up to the game, Jackson feels like your leadoff hitter. And I just didn't mess with the lineup. I'm not going to mess with the lineup. I can write it out right now. But having that kind of at-bat to flip it over, it changes things. And you're only probably going to lead off once. So his ability to walk, like his on-base percentage is great. He uses the field. He can bunt. It's a nice piece to have. And there's an energy level when he's up there that adds dimension. And then you've got that guy running around, and he's on base, and then it flips over, and you have those experienced, potent guys waiting on you. So proud of him. And he caught a good game today. He had some good blocks, did a good job receiving. So all around, great game. And he's had some tough days, like the shifting and some of the funky stuff, and he's smoking balls right into shifts and lining out. So it evened up for him today a little bit.
Coach, with Tennessee tomorrow, what's it like just to try to get offense going early, where it counts efficiently, and just get the big hit?
Sounds great. It sounds great. Yeah, now we talk about the same 8 things. In order to win elite games, you have to do certain things. And if you do them, well, the conversation this morning is, you bring your A stuff to the mound. You manage a game, you handle your position. We did it. You play sound, intelligent instinctive, anticipatory defense. You have to do that. We did it. You have to hit with less than 2 strikes. Half of the at-bats will go to 2 strikes, whether you like it or not. You have to manage 2-strike hitting, the situational hitting, the base running, and the short game. That's what this is about. And I told him today, guys, it's plain and simple. You're either going to go 1-0 and do these things, or you're going to pack up and you're going to feel really bad about things. So that's the game. So I don't make as big of a deal of who we're playing and what's going on. Those are the things that matter, and that's really what the players can control ultimately that delivers the result they need. So that's how